And now he's in Studio B.
Got pom-poms in.
Kalani Sitake.
What's up, brother?
I guess the right term would be yell leader.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, all right. Now that you've been removed a couple of days from the win and you've had an opportunity to look at some of the film, how do you feel about the overall performance from your team against Hawaii?
I felt really good about it. I felt like we talked about our identity, and playing physical, tough football. That's what we wanted to do, and I was pleased that the team did that, and in all positions. And our guys came inspired, ready to play, but more than anything, just really know what we're about. And it showed on Saturday night that we have to be a team that plays tough football, but smart and poised. And I like the physical part of the game, and that's in all the positions, even on special teams. And I think that is who we are. We have to hang our hat on that, and then build off of that. And I think it'll get the energy up. And if we can continue to do that, we'll have success.
You made a decision to switch quarterbacks, and as a player, your senior year, this happened late in Lavelle's season with Brandon Dillman. Naturally, it seems like there's just a different energy there when you switch the quarterback, and it's like, okay, we're going to mix it up. Did you feel like that energized the team in a way?
I'm not sure if that did. I think there was probably a series of things that happened that week, and maybe the embarrassment of the last couple of weeks of performance. And we always talked about playing our style of football. We call it our BYU style of football, and that's what we wanted to get back to. And I don't know if it can nail down the team playing well to one thing, other than just a bunch of different things that we did, changing up practice and doing things in mid-season form, And so I think it's just a bunch of things, but more than anything, our players bought in and everybody relished the role that they had and made it important, and the results showed on last Saturday.
What did you change in practice?
We kind of went back to just more than anything doing a lot of 11-on-11 to start practice right away. We changed a little bit of our periods as far as what our emphasis is going to be on. We want to be a tough physical football team, but we want to be fundamentally and technique sound, meaning that we still need to work on all those technique deals, and it gives you more confidence, especially in tackling. The fundamental part of football, blocking and tackling, are really important, and all the players on the team need to know how to do that, and so that helps us out. Even when we get interception, you see how many yards Austin Lee got because our guys are blocking downfield and doing a good job at it. Just the fundamentals and going basically back to the basics and being really good at that, and being committed to playing a physical game.
To me, the best thing I saw, and there were a lot on Saturday night, was just the overall defensive performance and the energy that the defense brought to the field. They had great success getting to the quarterback, whereas in previous contests, not so much. Why was that? Why was there such a difference in BYU's ability to get to Cole McDonald and cause Hawaii some stress?
Well, I think Coach Tuyaki did a good job of devising a game plan that would work for us and had some adjustments along the way, but then also challenging the D-line to get after the quarterback. We told him we're going to do a lot of three-man front, odd front stuff, and mix up our formations, mix up our coverages, and have some pressures as well. And we really challenged our defense to just get to know their assignments and make sure that they execute it well. And that's what happened. But Coach Tuyaki did a great job, as well as the other defensive coaches having a great game plan, and our players met the challenge and executed well.
Yeah, Kairos Tonga made Cole McDonald look like a ragdoll in that sack. I was like, wow, is that guy okay? Kairos Tonga getting into the backfield is a dangerous thing for the opponent.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and that's what we brought him to do, is be disruptive and and be a pain in the butt for offensive lines. And so
he's good at doing that.
Yeah, and he's got all the physical tools for it, and there's a lot of room for improvement from everyone, but really pleased with how these guys played and how technique sound they were.
280 rushing yards for BYU. Last year, you go for 285 against Hawaii, so that's the key, right? Just go for 280 plus running the ball. Is it that simple?
Yeah, I think that would help a lot. I haven't thought about that. Thanks.
It's a freshman quarterback's best friend, right? 280 rushing yards.
Yeah, it's just I think being able to use the run game. There's so many different ways to run, whether it's spread or if we bring more big personnel into the game. But I think Coach Stewart has done a great job with the running back position. You see Matt Hadley getting a lot of reps, and he was starting at linebacker last week. And so he's our BYU player, that does everything. And so then you see, this is without Squally. We had Lopini contribute. We had Riley Burke contribute. A lot of guys that and even Tyler Algier got in the game as well. And so just the guys committed to playing. But I think it's crazy if you don't mention the O-line and the tight ends and the receivers blocking downfield. Those guys help spring extra yards, and the O-line were just committed to moving the line of scrimmage, and it was nice to see them play physical up front.
Did Riley Burt earn himself more potential opportunities in the future? A lot of people wonder why he doesn't play a little more.
Well, to answer that question in a general term, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of guys don't play, and whether it's dealing with injury or understanding the scheme or just doing the simple things like go to class, So
it's more than what you see on the field.
Yeah, and this isn't directed at Riley Burt specifically, but there's a lot of things that add to it. And it's as much as we want to trust him on the field, there's a lot of things that go into it in order to earn the trust of a coach. And it can't just be your playing ability in one part of your life, So, but in reference to Riley, I think we had a loaded running back group, and there's only so many reps to go around and so many opportunities to prove yourself and compete. And with Squally being down and opening up some extra reps for other guys, I think he earned his right to be on the field and did a great job with the reps that he got. I've been really pleased with how hard he works to better his craft and worked extra time to get there. And now that he had his moment, I'm glad that he was able to show and did a great job. And these guys are going to make it difficult when Squally's ready to come back to really jump into it, because the competition will continue. And the stuff that Riley and Lopini and Matt Hadley did, it will have a huge effect on what happens in the next game.
Do you think Squally Canada will be healthy for Northern Illinois after the bye week?
I'm hoping, yeah. I mean, he has a week to get healthy to compete for next week for a spot, and we're hoping that will be the case.
Kalani Sitake, the head coach at BYU, with us on BYU Sports Nation in Studio B. Let's stay with the running backs just a little bit longer. Matt Hadley goes for 91 yards, which I'm pretty sure nobody had as the expected leading rusher. But needless to say, he did it, and he stole the attention. Is the plan now for him in his slash role to continue at the running back position? Or if Squally's healthy, then do you put him back at linebacker? What's the plan?
Oh, we'll figure it out next week. I mean, I think he's done – I like him as a running back personally. When I first got here, I looked up everybody's film, not knowing a lot of the people on the roster specifically, and individually I watched his high school film. I thought that was his position, but it's difficult when guys aren't playing. I want to use him as much as possible, and he's a guy that started for us at linebacker last year, and we had some injuries there, and so we thought, hey, let's reach into a guy that had tons of experience and a good skill set. So we'll see. I think as we talk about as a coaching staff, I think he's proven that he can really run the ball, and he has good vision, and we'll see how it plays into the next game. But I imagine he should be a guy that gets heavy consideration to be a starter.
Did you see that picture of Zach Wilson being lifted up with after his touchdown? What do you think of that photo? It was pretty cool, right? Like the shaft of light beaming down on him. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool, but I don't know. People have too much time on their hands. So
it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the Photoshop someone did?
Well, if they're going to do the Photoshop thing, then they should at least Photoshop my double chin out and give me a six-pack and stuff like that and make it really useful.
It was Lavelle.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
I
funny,
saw
right?
that one. That was cool.
Yeah. And it was in game. A fan did it.
We have some awesome fans,
Yeah.
and I love our fans. But that's awesome.
How much of this week will be spent on Northern Illinois prep versus non-Illinois prep? Northern Illinois.
Most of it will be Northern Illinois. They have a bye also.
Yeah. So both of you better be really ready.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So we'll be extra ready for them. But I think it's important that we get some more competition and get some depth provided. I think we're going to practice and have some guys be able to really prove themselves this week. And try to get stronger and better this week as well. Also get caught up in our academics. But this isn't just like time to just take off. We have to get to work, and we start with today.
It was good to see Diane Gawoloku back on the
Yeah.
field and his physicality at safety. He made an impact. He had another fumble recovery on part. I think it's his third fumble recovery of the season.
Second on a punt.
Crazy. And jokingly, he's like, it's good to get out and just slam into somebody. Zane Anderson is out for the season, and I know the injuries are part of the game and whatnot, but how would you explain the overall health of your team with Diane coming back and Zane out and waiting on Squally amidst some other key players?
Yeah, it's been it's part of the game, right? And you hate preparing for it, but I think that's why every coach talks about getting better depth wise. And the thing that's been the most helpful is us being able to use the red shirt rule to our advantage, meaning that the players at red shirt that are freshmen have 4 games to help us out, and it also helps out when you can have a little home game stretch like we are right now, and use a lot of the freshmen in those games, and to help kind of make up for some of the injuries, But we just have to keep getting better and keep adding quality depth to the team, and that's through a couple ways. One is through recruiting, but the other way is through development. And we have a lot of great young kids in this program and return missionaries that are ready to roll. And you'll see them in the later half of the season when they get their legs back and they get themselves ready to play.
Well, a bunch of freshmen that made an impact on Saturday night.
4 touchdowns scored by freshmen, obviously the most prominent of which is the quarterback, Zach Wilson. What do you like about what he brings and brought to the table?
Oh, love Zach. I've been really impressed with the way he prepares for a game. And he's young, but it doesn't show in the way he carries himself. We knew we had something special when we recruited him, and that really goes with a lot of the quarterback position group. I mean, we added a lot of good talent in that group. Jaron Hall, Stacey Connor, and Beta Romney, and all these great kids that come in. They're capable of playing. It just he performed the best in the spring, and he's works really hard. And I've been really proud with how he played the game. A few mistakes here and there, but for the most part, he's a great young man, and I think he's going to do some really good things for us.
I love his poise too, and I love the story that he told to our Lauren McLean and said, "Look, during that quarterback draw, I winked at my offensive lineman and said, all right, here we go. This is the play." What other 19-year-old kid, the youngest
On 3rd and 15,
the youngest to start a game at BYU in the history of their program, is winking at his offensive lineman like, yeah, here we go. The moment just doesn't seem too big for him.
He's great confidence, and it's preparation. And he was raised to do this. He comes from a great family. His parents, Mike and Lisa, have done a great job. And if you watch him and his family, it's with a lot of our kids, but him specifically, you see how the type of son that he is, the type of brother that he is in the home, and you know that people are going to gravitate towards him. And so I've seen what he's done since he was a kid, and what he's done in high school. He's a great high school coach that has helped him prepare for this. And then on his off times, he goes and studies from guys like John Beck and others that he can really learn from, and all these QB coaches that are forward to him. He spends time doing football. That's what he loves. And just really, really impressed with him. He's got confidence, and I don't mind him taking risks. But when you take the risks, they better pay off. But I love how aggressive he can be, and the confidence comes. I mean, we knew that was going to be a fun play for him because he likes that kind of stuff. And if it were up to him, he'd like to run more. But I think I like his complete game and what he brings to the table.
Yeah. Oh, and Aleva Hifo completed another pass. Or was that a lateral, so it doesn't count as a pass?
It's a lateral, yeah. But he threw the ball again.
He's 2 for 2 in my book.
We got a new flag. Do you mind signing this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're adding more signatures. So there are a
There's
couple on
like
there.
2 signatures on it right now.
Well, don't forget Yoli Child's up top. It's way up there.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to top that one.
He's
I'm
just
sorry.
showing off.
Yeah, he's 6'8",
Sean
right?
Bradley would be the only one that can compete for that one.
Kalani, it's great to talk to you. Congratulations on the
Yeah.
win, and best of luck moving forward during the bye week.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. Go Cougs.
You have no press conference. This was it. So
Yep,
you're
I'm
done.
safe.
Get out of
You're
here.
done,
Guys.
Congratulations.